So, have you ever met someone that you give the hand, you met at the very first time, and you feel like a rejection, like you are not going to connect with these people? On the other hand, have you met someone that immediately gives you a smile and you know that I'm gonna get something very special from that person? Like you really get value of that person. So today the topic that I want to talk to you is about building meaningful connections, like really important networking. And to do so, I would like to start with a real life story. And I know you at the very end of this story will know what is this about, but I wanna try to keep this kind of unknown, thing, so you can view this from a different perspective. So this is a man who has a dream, and this dream is quite simple dream. I mean, many of us will think that is to have a Ferrari or is to be a luxury man, but actually his real dream is to support his family, to be able to provide from a home and provide from all the necessary to them, to his wife and his girl, to his little boy, sorry. And what he does actually is that he put all the savings of his life into a new project. This project is about some medical machines that doctors needs back in the last century to read the X-rays of the patient. And this was a major investment. He thought that with this project he was going to get a lot of money back, and he was going to be able to build a business. And at the very beginning, the sales went up. Each machine was being selling as a hybrid because it was something very new in the market. Every doctor needs that. He was for you to make kind of sense of what the machine value was, with only one machine that this man was going to sell, he was going to win the money for the whole month, So that makes sense, it's a big deal for him. However, after some months of good sales, suddenly everything went down, All the sales started dropping and he was having difficult times, till a point where he got in bankruptcy. And he had to sleep in the street with his son. He had to sell his blood to cover some bills and have a place to sleep. And he had to even make very tough stuff, so he can support his I think 5 years old boy, And it was pretty hard times, at the point that he didn't pay taxes for a while, and the government took the $600 that he had on his bank account. So you can imagine how hard was that time, right? And how difficult it was for this man. But now that we know the hard part of this man, let's see where were the heroes of this history. And the first one is a man in a Ferrari. It's quite crazy, isn't it? But this man, his name is gonna be Chris, was walking on the street trying to sell one of these machines that I just mentioned, and he found this man going down from his Ferrari, and he makes a question. The question was, how did you do to get the Ferrari? And the man just answered simple, this is the place where I work, and he said a building, and that's it, I have a very good job. Chris said, well, I suppose you have a very, very good degree. And he said, actually, no, all you need to know is math. A little bit of math and common sense, So the first learning that we have here, Chris had curiosity. He really had curiosity about this man and want to know how this successful man was successful, So he started asking questions, and he built a connection there with that man. That's one meaningful connection. The second hero of our history is the human resources leader of that company. So Chris went to a job fair, and he got the referral to get into this company. Basically, for you to understand, this was a 6-month non-paid program where he was going to get the training to get the job. And there were 40 applicants to this job, and only one was going to get the position. So that was kind of hard situation, And he was like, well, this is gonna be hard. And at the very beginning, when he met this man, this man actually didn't pay attention. He was busy with 2,000 more stuff, and he didn't pay attention. But Chris had one very important thing, and I think this is one of the most valuable skills that we need to have, which is persistency. So Chris went another time and reached this man, and this man didn't want to pay attention to him, not because it didn't matter, just because he was too busy. And what Chris did was to jump into a taxi alongside with this man, putting the excuse that he was going on the same direction. And finally, while in the taxi, the man was having a hard mathematical problem to solve, and guess what? Chris showed his skills and was able to convince the man, so the man gave the opportunity to get into the company. So the second major skill that we can learn from here is showing our value, getting those skills and show them to the valuable people, right? The third hero in this his history is this man. Again, Chris was in his training process, and he had to sell stocks, to very rich people. So he developed this strategy where he was going to sell only to people that really have big amounts of money, so he could really get the amount needed to get the job position, right? And he planned a meeting with this man, which was one interested investor. However, because of stuff of the daily work and stuff like that, Chris was not able to get to that meeting. But guess what? Again, one more time, Chris was persistent. So he went back to this man's house, and he just was humble and apologized about what happened the last day. However, the man just said, okay, there's nothing wrong with you, so let's go to a American football game. And they went together to American football game, and this man introduced 3 interested investors, even when he was not more willing to invest with Chris, So one more time, through one person, he got 3 new people that were really meaningful to him, and was able to achieve his final goal to get this job position. I don't know if so far you know which movie I'm talking about, which real life story I'm talking about, but if you don't, it's this movie, And what is interesting is that most of us know the movie, and when we think about it, it's more about the hard time that Chris had, But then if we see from this new perspective, it's how really meaningful people can bring meaningful to our life and ourselves, So Chris basically built connections, and this is one of the most beautiful real life stories that I like, because he was from being broke completely to be one of the richest men in the world, So I would like to give you some stuff that we can learn from being from networking, So the first thing is that 70% of jobs are not advertising, and 83% of the jobs that people apply are through referrals. So if you get really good connections, you have more possibility to get a real good job, So that's why it is very important for you to get meaningful connections. The second is that for every dollar that people invest, there is 12.5x in return. So you can imagine, you just invest let's say $1,000 in going to a networking meeting, and you get $12,500 in return because you get a better job, or because you get a better deal in businesses, or whatever you are looking for. So that's why it's pretty important to get better connections. And one more I want to show to you. 46% of the freelancer people get their jobs, their projects and stuff that they work on, is through referral from family and friends. So I think building connection is a major deal in our days, and I think that you as me, we all feel related to this. Without meaningful connection, we cannot really build a meaningful life, right? And how do we do this connection? So first thing, be a giver. When we are a giver, we show the people our value. We show them that we're really able to help them and bring really meaningful stuff to their life. People are more open when they feel this, you know. When we don't give like any value, they're just closed. But if we really like are able to say, hey, how may I help you? What skills can help you? Then people will be more open to help you. The second thing is connect on the related area. So if you're working in the marketing area, for example, or business area, try to connect with business people or business area. If not, it will be hard for you, you know, because you are looking for other areas that are not related to yours. And finally, find new ways to connect. So one more time, look, Chris, he missed one important appointment, but he took that as an opportunity to keep building his network, you know. And you can go to networking events, you can meet new people at job. Every place is a new place to make new friends. In fact, here at Comora, we are supposed to build new connections, and you should always take advantage of that opportunity, you know. So one more thing, I would like to give you some seconds for you to read this quote. So as it says, read networking that matters, networking that brings value, is when we give people meaningful stuff, so we support them, we service them. And our major example was Jesus Christ. And I wanna say to you that you have the big opportunity to build network here now and in any moment in your life. Thank you so much.